everyone, welcome back to the channel. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for the recent growth and engagement with my videos. It really means a lot to me as I continue making more videos for you all. So for today's video, I wanted to share some of my tips and tricks for the game called The Finals. I've spent a decent amount of time on the game and I just wanted to share some gameplay along with some tips I found useful, especially in tournaments. So in no particular order, the first tip is that in tournaments, you'll find yourself having to do a lot of mental math, especially near the end of a match. By keeping track of the top left, it shows all of the teams, the time left for a team to come back after a wipeout, and more importantly, how much money each team has. For example, if you need less than 1k in order to knock out one of the top teams, open a vault which guarantees 1k. And if you need a little bit more, take the vault to a cash out for an additional 2k. Another example is to make sure you pay attention to which cash out has the necessary money you need to secure. If you need 22k over 15k, advance to the 22k cash out and fight there. Just make sure you pay attention and calculate when needed. As a bonus tip, don't push when it's not needed. For example, in this clip, my team was already first, so no matter who took this last cash out, we would be guaranteed to advance to the next round. However, my teammates decided to push, and I stood back. Had I gone with them and I died as well, even in the last second, we would lose 50% of our winnings and therefore be eliminated. The next tip is that it's okay to use your coins. I find that we hold on to the coins hoping that a teammate will revive us, but it's actually better to look at your teammate's health bar or their gameplay to see if they'll win that last 1v1 fight. If not, spam to go back in. If you lose more money towards the end of the match, you will be losing a lot more than you think. The next tip is to be smart about your revives. Team wipeouts cause you to lose a lot of cash. If you see yourself unable to revive your teammates, let them come back using a coin. Staying alive is more important than getting a risky revive, and coming back as a team gives you a better chance of stealing a cash out. The next tip is, kills don't mean much if you're playing for an objective. So take the high ground and listen if cash outs are being taken. Because in reality, you want the enemies to back off your cash out, so scare them with gadgets and shoot down on them to make sure it's more difficult for them to push. Always check the scoreboards. By checking the scoreboard, you can see which enemies are wiped in order to see which cash out to advance to, along with how many coins people have left if you ever want to only kill a specific person. So here, after checking the scoreboard, I saw that on the orange team, one person died, one disconnected, and there was one light left. So therefore, I can easily take this cash out. The next tip is to get in the habit of using your melee attack. Elbow hitting them for the last hit in close encounters is more beneficial for you to actually win the fight. The next tip is, if you're top of the leaderboard in a tournament and the match is almost over, sometimes the best thing to do is grab a vault or possibly both vaults and run to the corner of the map or hide in a room with them. Make the vault more of a cash out in this case by defending it so no enemies end up taking it to start a new cash out, forcing a risky overtime for your team. The next tip, and probably the most important, is realizing that your enemies are also your friends. And what I mean by this is, for example, if you're playing Quick Cash and the scoreboard shows that the purple team is the only team that has 10k and has a new cash out already started, try to only kill the purple team and leave the pink team alone. If your team and purple team get wiped, then the pink team can take the cash out and you still have one more chance to get back in the game and win. This also goes for tournaments. If the last cash out is in favor of the top team and your top two, let them have it by killing everyone else. You're guaranteed to advance to the next round. So overall, just make sure you know which teams are beneficial to target in order to progress in the match. The next tip is to use the events that occur in a match to help you in situations. For example, if you have a jump pad as a medium and the event calls for low gravity, it's great to get around the map, especially if you need to put a vault in the cash out near the end of the match. Also, if the event calls for the dead go boom, in this case shoot from long range as you won't be impacted by the explosions and most likely will be the last one alive in the area because you weren't impacted. And if that's the case, you're able to steal the cash out. The next tip is during the pre-lobby, look for the specialization icons your teammates are using and toggle to see their loadouts. This gives you a good idea of whether you need a healer beam class along with the deep fib, which is essential to a team. So there you have it, 10 tips which I find very useful. The finals is by far the fastest paced game I've ever played. I'm continuously looking at so much information and it can be a bit overwhelming and intimidating to start out. But as you find your groove, you find your loadout, find your class, and understand the objective, the game is extremely fun and highly rewarding. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it somewhat useful. Stay tuned for more videos coming up, and please comment any tips and tricks you find useful for others to read. Like the video if you found it helpful. Take care, and bye guys.
Just as the spotlight swings to our winners, the Retros, from all of us here at the finals, thanks for watching.